Now here's a small business out in Utah that had an idea that they wanted to come out with a new product somehow, and they weren't sure if it's going to sell or how much to invest in it or whatever, and they were already in business, so it wasn't like they're starting their new thing. But what they did is take their idea, they made a mock-up of it, put it on the internet, and they got like $17,000 or whatever of pre-orders. This is a thing that people say, hey, we'll buy that when you make it. Here's the money. So they got all this money first before they made the product. But more importantly about getting the money, now they know for sure that people is going to buy it. Most businesses, individuals, whatever, they have this bright idea and they ask their friends, hey, would you buy this or would you buy that or whatever? And then they get enough positive feedback, they go make it. They make thousands of them or whatever it is. And then they hope they could sell it, A lot of times they don't, because people lying to you, people who say it's good, never going to buy the things anyway, they're just trying to be nice to you. That's what market research to me isn't real market research. Nobody's putting up money. So here's a way, and it costs you nothing, to put your idea on the internet to see if people really want to buy that, and then they show you for sure with money. They give you cash. Yes, when you get that thing, here's money. I want to be first in line, because you get it at a bargain. So you give it to the first time people at a bargain price, so that encourages them. But most of all, it encourages you to find out if this thing is working or not, because you don't want to spend all the investment, all the time, refining it, whatever, and getting it in production, blah, 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 and putting in the money and all that kind of stuff. Instead, you put it on the internet. The people give you the money, and now you want to put it in production, and you got money in your hands to do it. That's why doing this on the internet is going to change the whole world to me, because we're not going to waste time making stuff that nobody needs. And the people who want it are going to give you money to make it happen, not some fat cat with a cigar. So watch this. Well, Peterson, I don't know, Patterson was somebody else. Greg Peterson, with the Moss Manus, right? As in Moss or Manus. And what you're going to do is solve my problem with all this junk, right?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah. God, I mean, it's terrific. I mean, looking at it, your video on Kickstarter is terrific. It really explains very simply what it does. But the elegance of the product, I mean, to have this little device, now for your cell phone in the car, so you don't lose these cords all the time. It's just fantastic stuff, I think. And it's cheap. I mean, it's like next to nothing. What is it, $8 on the Kickstarter campaign? That's less than a big pen.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So where did this come from? Or why did you see the need that nobody else did?
So, I mean, the story of the original Moss that I always tell people, I have a MacBook Air, and I would take it to work with me. And I would unplug the power cable, go to work, and I'd come home, and without fail, every day when I came home, the power cable had fallen behind my desk, so I'm fishing behind my desk to try and plug my MacBook back into the power. And so it finally came to a point where, there's other cable solutions out there, but what I really wanted to play on was, it has the MagSafe port using magnets, and everyone loves magnets.
Oh gosh, yeah.
A little mysterious, kind of wonder how they work, and so I'm like, well, let's make a magnet that sticks on your desk and holds the cable, and so...
Now the magnet isn't really the magnets to stick to your desk, it's really the cables. You put little clips on that, and actually what's genius is the little clip you tack to the wire that is magnetized. The magnet doesn't show, so you don't even know it's a magnet in there.
Yep, and it's the same way with the big Moss. It's a beautiful shape. It's not something you have to try and hide on your desk. It's something that you're fine for people seeing. They just kind of wonder what it is, and it's got the magnets in there, and magically your cables stick to it, and so...
It does look like that, but it's elegant, and actually, I haven't touched one, but it seems like that the aluminum is almost like a work of art, the sculpture of it and the feel, and it's a beautiful paperweight on your desk.
Yeah, with the aluminum, we really, that was the real push at the Apple crowd, because you can put it next to your MacBook, and it looks like it was designed by Apple to
Ah.
use your MacBook.
So you have something that Apple is proud of to design. I mean, they're the people who invented, it seems, design in our culture now, and you were able to, be there. So this is like a new product now, just for cell phones, right? And in your car and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, lots of people. I mean, you have cables in your car to either, the 3.5 millimeter cable to either plug in and listen to music or to charge, your iPhone up. And the normal MOS, I mean, it doesn't really fit in a car. There's not too many spots in your car that you have big enough to fit that. So we took it and shrunk it down to something that was manageable, that you could place in your car in a couple different spots, and then you could have a way so your cables don't always, go down in between your seats and digging around your car trying to find your cable.
But that cable you have that goes into your cell phone is like a super cable. I mean, I hate most of the cables. After a month, I can't hear out of one ear and all this kind of stuff that's going on. So you have one that like works forever. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's had that problem where you plug it in, you can hear out of one ear or it's coming out of one speaker and it's cracking. And so we designed it, we put the spring on for the strain relief to try and eliminate that problem, which also gives the added benefit of sticking to MOS really.
I see, right.
And then we're so confident of our design, we do a lifetime warranty. If it breaks, you just send it back to us and we'll send you a new one.
Wow. So, and that's on both the MOS and the little one now, too?
That's actually just on the cable.
On the cable, right. All right. Well, on the cable, it seems that, buying it now, I mean, you still have like 8 days left, that it's a great deal because, once it hits the stores, it's going to be like 20-30% more than if you get it from you now, right?
Yep.
So it's a great little gift idea. It seems like for anybody. I mean, who doesn't have problems with cords, and particularly in the car. I know my kids use their iPhone everywhere they go. They're plugging it in for music here, there, the other way, no matter what car. So, and the desktop, the original MOS is a wonderful design, and that's in stores, right, and things like that now. The original one.
The original MOS, you can find it in Apple retail stores across North America, and we'll probably, I mean, it's in some other countries as well.
Well, I saw it on Amazon, and there's a guy who did a video review of your MOS, the original one, and he just raved about it. Thinking just so much more than he expected. And all the reviews. I mean, you have like a 5 out of 5 average rating for everybody who uses this thing. So it's obviously a crowd pleaser. I think one guy said something negative, like it didn't make his milkshakes or something like that. Something irrelevant. So he couldn't give you a 5 out of 5. In his mind. But it's a wonderful idea. Do you have ideas next? Like, are you going to work on more wires or more, gadget?
We do have some ideas that we are currently working on. I can't spill the beans on them yet.
Or the wires.
There's definitely more products in store to come from the MOS brand.
Wonderful. So to take advantage of the MOS Manos, it's on Kickstarter now. So you go to Kickstarter MOS Manos, or the better way to get there is MOS Organizer, right? .com. So if anybody goes now, MOS Organizer, they can get to Kickstarter, get in on that deal, or find all your products on MOSorganizer.com, right?
That is correct.
Well, wonderful. Well, thanks for being there, Greg, and thanks for being smarter than I am to figure out what the heck to do with all this junk that I and make it elegant too. That's the kicker.
Yeah, that is.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
See, so when you get your next idea for a gadget or just anything, use this model. I mean, it's wonderful. I think it's really going to change the face of every economy. It's big in Europe, it's big around the world, and it's going to be huge here.